Mexican food is famous for its strong flavors and bright colors. But its story goes way back, long before Europeans arrived. It all started with the native people of Mesoamerica. These ancient cultures created the base for one of the world's favorite foods. At the center of it all was maize, or corn. Corn wasn't just food, it was super important to their civilization. The Olmec, one of the first Mesoamerican civilizations, were great at growing corn. They figured out nixtamalization. This means soaking corn in a special mixture. This made the corn healthier and easier to grind. The Olmec and other groups before Columbus used the milpia system. This way of farming meant planting corn, beans, and squash together. These three plants grew really well together. They gave the ancient Mesoamericans a healthy diet. Growing these foods shaped the land and the food traditions of the area. Ancient Mesoamericans used lots of other ingredients to make tasty dishes. Chili peppers made their food spicy and interesting. Cacao beans, which we make chocolate from, were very special. They used them in drinks and ceremonies. Avocados, tomatoes, and vanilla were also important parts of their food. These ingredients are still key parts of Mexican food today. The food traditions of ancient Mesoamerica got even better with the Aztecs and Mayans. These civilizations were great at farming and cooking. They changed Mexican food forever. The Aztecs, who were great engineers and farmers, built chinampas. These were floating gardens on Lake Texcoco. They could grow all sorts of crops there. Their empire grew strong because of these gardens. The Aztecs were known for their big feasts. These feasts showed how good their cooks were. One Aztec food tradition that's still around is tamales. These are steamed corn dough pockets filled with yummy stuff, and they're still a favorite in Mexico. Another Aztec food is pozole, a thick soup made with hominy, which is nixtamalized corn. Pozole was often eaten during ceremonies and parties. The Mayans, who were really smart about stars and math, also added a lot to Mexican food. They were some of the first to use tortillas, flatbreads made from ground corn. Tortillas were both food and a tool. They used them to scoop up stews and salsas. The Mayans were also great at making chocolate. They made a bitter drink called xocolotl. This drink often had spices and chili peppers in it. Xocolotl was a special drink used in ceremonies and important gatherings. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived in the 1500s, things changed a lot for Mexican food. It was a mix of cultures. It also made a really cool mix of food traditions. The Spanish brought new ingredients and ways of cooking to Mexico. These mixed with the native ways. This created many famous Mexican dishes. One of the biggest things the Spanish brought was livestock. Cows, pigs, and chickens became part of the Mexican diet. They gave people new sources of protein and fat. The Spanish also brought dairy, like cheese and milk. These changed Mexican food a lot. Mixing Spanish and native ingredients created dishes like mole. Mole is a complicated sauce often made with chilies, spices, nuts, and chocolate. It's usually served over meat. Mole shows how food traditions mixed during colonial times. Another famous dish is the taco. While tacos existed before the Spanish added things like pork and beef. Tacos have changed over time. Today they're one of the most popular street foods in Mexico and all over the world. Over the years, Mexican food became different in different parts of Mexico. The country's different landscapes, weather, and cultures created special food traditions. From the mole sauces of Oaxaca to the seafood of Veracruz, each region has its own special flavors. Oaxaca, in southern Mexico, is famous for its mole sauces. Mole oaxaqueño, often called the king of moles, is a rich, dark sauce with lots of chili peppers, spices, nuts, and chocolate. It's usually served over turkey or chicken. It shows the region's food history. The Yucatan Peninsula, where the Mayans lived, has its own special food. Cochinita pibil, slow-roasted pork with achiote paste and sour orange juice, is a Yucatecan favorite. It shows the region's mix of Mayan and Spanish food. Puebla in central Mexico is known for chiles en nogada. This dish has the colors of the Mexican flag, red, white, and green. It's made of poblano peppers filled with meat and fruit, covered in a creamy walnut sauce and topped with pomegranate seeds. Mexican street food is a big and exciting part of the country's food. People all over the world love it. From busy street corners to markets, the smells of cooking meats, spicy salsas, and fresh tortillas are everywhere. Tacos, the most famous Mexican street food, come in tons of varieties. From al pastor, marinated pork cooked on a spinning spit, to carnitas, slow-cooked pork, to barbacoa, slow-cooked lamb or beef, tacos are full of flavor. Elotes, grilled corn on the cob, are another street food favorite. Covered in mayonnaise, cheese, chili powder, and lime juice, elotes are sweet, savory, and spicy all at once. Everyone loves them. Churros, crispy fried dough with sugar and cinnamon, are a yummy treat. Often served with hot chocolate, churros are a sweet and satisfying snack or dessert. Food is a big part of Mexican parties and holidays. From birthdays to weddings to religious holidays, food brings people together and honors traditions. One of the most important holidays is Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. This colorful celebration honors people who have died. Families make altars with offerings, including food and drinks, to nourish the souls of their loved ones. Tamales, often made with a special sweet filling, are a traditional Day of the Dead food. Pan de Muerto, a sweet bread with anise and orange blossom water, is another tradition. Cinco de Mayo, which celebrates the Mexican victory over the French, is another time for festive food and drinks. While it's celebrated more in the US, it's a chance to enjoy Mexican food. Mexican food is still changing today. New chefs are trying new things, mixing modern techniques and influences from around the world. They're making dishes that are both new and traditional. Chefs like Enrique Olvera, famous for his Mexico City restaurant Pozole, are leading this change. Olvera's dishes show the variety of Mexican ingredients and focus on seasonal and sustainable food. Daniela Soto Innes, another great chef, is known for Cosme in New York City. Her dishes celebrate Mexican flavors and fresh, high-quality ingredients. These chefs are changing what Mexican food can be, showing the world how rich and complex it is, and inspiring new food lovers. While tacos, burritos, and enchiladas are what many people think of as Mexican food, there's so much more. From savory stews to fresh salads to delicious desserts, Mexican food has something for everyone. Seafood lovers will love the coastal food of Veracruz and Oaxaca, with lots of fresh fish and shellfish. Ceviche, raw fish marinated in citrus juices, is a popular choice. Vegetarians will also find lots to eat in Mexican cuisine. Beans, rice, corn, and vegetables are in many dishes. Vegetarian tacos, enchiladas, and tamales are easy to find and just as tasty. Desserts like flan, a creamy custard, and churros, crispy fried dough, are sweet treats loved all over Mexico. They show the country's rich food history. The story of Mexican food shows the strength, creativity, and culture of the Mexican people. From its ancient beginnings to today, Mexican food continues to amaze and inspire food lovers everywhere. People love Mexican food because of its strong flavors, bright colors, and fresh ingredients. It's both comforting and exciting. It shows the history, culture, and soul of Mexico. The next time you eat tacos, enchiladas, or mole, think about the rich history and traditions behind them. Mexican food is more than just a meal. It's a celebration of life, family, and culture.